John woke early to the cold air of the mining colony. The sky above was gray and heavy with dust. Around him, the alien buildings stood tall and strange. Humans like John worked hard here every day, but they were not free. They were slaves to the alien empire that ruled this place. John was strong and quiet. He had seen many hard days, but he never gave up hope. His hands were rough from work, but his mind was sharp. He remembered a time when humans were free and proud. Now he kept that memory close in his heart. Claire was an alien noblewoman. She was tall and proud. Her skin was pale blue, and her eyes shone like stars. She wore fine clothes and moved with grace. Claire believed humans were nothing more than slaves. She showed no kindness to them. One morning, Claire came to the mining site. She watched the workers with cold eyes. When she saw John, she stepped forward. Her voice was sharp and cruel. "You are just a slave," she said. "You belong to US, nothing more." John did not answer. He looked at her calmly. Claire became angry. She spat in John's face. The spit was cold and wet. The workers around them gasped. Some looked away, but John stayed still. He wiped his face slowly and did not show fear. Claire laughed and turned away. She thought John was weak because he did not fight back. But John's quiet strength was something she did not see. The workers began to whisper. They saw a new side of John that day. Later, John returned to his small room. The walls were thin, and the air was heavy. He thought about Claire's words and the spit on his face. He felt a fire inside. He wanted to fight, not with anger, but with hope. He wanted to change their fate. John remembered his past. He was once a soldier. He had fought for freedom before the colony was taken. Now he was forced to work like a slave. But the soldier in him was not gone. It waited for the right moment. The colony was quiet, but it was not safe. Alien guards watched every move. They punished those who tried to resist. John knew he had to be careful. But he also knew he could not stay silent forever. One day, Claire gave John a dangerous task. She wanted to see if he was really just a slave. She said, "Fix the broken machine in the deepest part of the mine. If you fail, you will lose your place here." John agreed without fear. He walked to the dark tunnels. The machines were old and strange. Many workers had tried and failed. John used his skill and mind. He studied the machine, found the problem, and fixed it. When John returned, the machine worked again. The alien guards were surprised. Claire's face showed anger, but she said nothing. John's quiet strength was becoming clear to everyone. Some humans began to look at John with hope. Maybe they were not just slaves. Maybe they could be free again. John felt the weight of their eyes. He did not want to fail them. That night, John met with a few trusted friends. They spoke in whispers about freedom and plans. They wanted to rise against the alien rulers. John was ready to lead them, but he knew it would be dangerous. Claire watched John from afar. She felt anger and fear. No one had ever stood against her before. She did not understand how a human could be so calm and strong. The colony was changing slowly. John was the spark in the dark. The slaves might find a way to become free again. John woke early again. The cold air was heavy, but his mind was clear. He thought about the task Claire gave him. Fixing the machine had shown others he was more than a slave. John felt a small hope growing inside. His friends, Lucas and Ella, came to meet him. They were also workers in the mines. Both looked tired, but ready for change. John told them about the plan to help humans rise. They agreed quietly. They knew it was dangerous, but they wanted to try. Claire watched John closely. She did not trust him anymore. She thought he was becoming a problem. One day, she called John to her. Her voice was cold. "You think you are better than a slave," she said. "Prove it. Fix the main power core on the upper level. Many have tried and failed." John nodded. He knew this was harder than before. The power core was old and very broken. It was important to the colony. If it failed, many workers would be trapped. John felt the pressure, but he stayed calm. He went with Lucas and Ella to the power core. The place was dark and full of noise. John used his skills to understand the machines. He found a broken wire and a leaking fuel pipe. He worked fast but careful. Lucas and Ella helped him. Hours passed. The work was hard and tiring. John felt pain in his hands, but he did not stop. Finally, the machine started to work again. Lights turned on and alarms stopped. John smiled quietly. He had done it. When they returned, the workers cheered softly. Even some aliens looked surprised. Claire's face was hard. She did not want to admit John's skill. But the truth was clear to all. John was no ordinary slave. John's small group grew. More humans joined them in secret. They shared hope and plans for freedom. They trained and learned from John. The fear was still there, but so was the courage. One night, John and Ella talked alone. Ella was afraid. "What if Claire finds out? What will happen to us?" she asked. John looked at her and said, "We must be strong. We fight for a future where no one is a slave." Claire did not sleep well. She planned to stop John and his group. She ordered more guards and searched for rebels. But John was careful. He kept his plans hidden and his friends safe. The colony was like a quiet storm. Tension grew, but no one could stop it. John knew the moment to rise was near. He watched the workers and felt their hope. John dreamed of a day when humans and aliens could live as equals. He believed that day would come. The slave was no longer silent. He was ready to fight for freedom. John's small group of humans grew quietly. They met in secret places, sharing hope and ideas. John taught them to work together and to be brave. They planned to take control of the colony one day. Some aliens began to notice the change. They saw how John helped the workers and how people looked at him with respect. These aliens were not happy with Claire's cruel rule. Some even helped John in secret. John's single quotes S group worked hard to sabotage alien machines that kept the colony in control. They fixed broken equipment and freed a few prisoners when guards were not watching. Every small success made the humans stronger. Claire became more angry. She could feel something was wrong, but did not know what. She watched John carefully and sent more guards to stop the workers from meeting. But John was smart and careful. He always stayed one step ahead. One day, John found a new friend in an alien named Cora. Cora did not agree with the harsh rule. She was brave and wanted change too. She helped John's group by giving them information about the alien leaders and their plans. John was glad to have Cora's help. Together, they planned bigger actions. They wanted to take control of the colony's power center and free all the humans. It was a dangerous plan, but it gave them hope. Claire tried to stop them. She used fear and threats to keep control. She punished workers who looked like they might rebel. But her harsh ways only made the humans more determined. John felt the weight of leadership. He knew many lives were at risk. He worked hard to keep his friends safe and to keep the hope alive. He never forgot the moment Claire spat in his face. That moment made him stronger. The colony was full of fear, but also hope. John and his friends believed they could win. They dreamed of freedom and a new life without pain and cruelty. John looked at the stars one night and promised himself he would not fail. He was ready to fight for a better future. Claire was furious. She had heard rumors of rebellion and could no longer ignore John. She decided to confront him. The workers stopped and watched as Claire came to the meeting place where John and his friends gathered. Claire's eyes burned with anger. She stepped forward and spat in John's face again. "You are just a slave," she said loudly. "You will never win." John wiped the spit from his face, but this time he did not stay quiet. He looked Claire in the eyes and said, "I am no slave. I am a man who fights for freedom." The crowd gasped. No human had ever spoken to Claire like this. Tension filled the air. Claire sneered and moved to attack John. She was strong and fast, trained in combat. John was ready. He used his soldier training to fight her. The two moved quickly, striking and blocking. The workers watched in shock as John pushed Claire back. She was strong, but John was faster and smarter. Seconds later, John knocked Claire to the ground. She was defeated. The workers cheered quietly. Claire's guards were shocked and confused. They had never seen John fight. Like this. John stood over Claire. He did not hurt her more. He wanted her to see that humans were not weak. He wanted her to know they could fight for themselves. Claire was humiliated. She had lost to a human slave. She was taken away by her guards, her pride broken. After the fight, John's friends came to him. They were proud and full of hope. John knew this was just the beginning. The workers needed a leader, and John was ready. The colony felt different now. The humans were no longer afraid. They whispered of freedom and change. John's courage gave them strength. Claire's defeat was a turning point. It showed everyone that humans could fight back. John's quiet strength had become a symbol of hope for all who suffered. John's victory over Claire changed many things in the colony. Humans began to see him as more than a slave. Some aliens, who did not agree with Claire's cruelty, started to respect John too. Claire was locked in a small prison. Her pride was broken. She watched the colony change from behind bars. John's friends helped keep the peace, but the alien leaders were worried. They sent more soldiers to stop the rebellion. John worked hard to unite the humans and the peaceful aliens. He wanted to build a strong group that could protect everyone. Trust was hard to find, but John's fairness and kindness helped. People whispered about John as a leader. Some said he could bring freedom to the colony. John felt the weight of their hopes on his shoulders. He knew he must be careful and strong. One day, a new alien leader came to the colony. He was stricter and wanted to crush the rebellion. John met with his friends to plan how to face this new threat. Ella and Lucas were loyal friends. They helped John train more humans to fight and work together. Cora, the alien who helped John before, shared secret information about the new leader's plans. John knew the fight was far from over, but he believed in the people. He believed they could build a better life without fear and pain. The colony was full of tension. John's group worked quietly to prepare. They fixed machines, made weapons, and trained for the battles ahead. John also tried to help the workers in small ways. He gave food to those who were hungry and helped heal the sick. His kindness made more people trust him. Claire still planned to get back her power. She sent messages from prison to her followers. John knew she was dangerous, even defeated. John stayed focused. He remembered why he fought: to end the pain and give people freedom. Every day he grew stronger in his heart. The colony waited for the next move. John was ready to lead his people. The fight for freedom had just begun. John's group grew stronger. More humans joined the fight for freedom. Some aliens joined too, tired of the cruel rulers. Together they planned attacks on the alien soldiers and guards. John was a good leader. He made sure his people were safe and treated fairly. He showed them kindness, unlike the alien rulers who used fear. John wanted a new world where people lived in peace. Claire, still in prison, was angry. She tried to stop John by sending secret messages. She wanted to ruin John's plans. But John's friends found her messages and kept the group safe. The colony was full of fear and hope. John faced many hard choices. Some people wanted revenge, but John wanted justice and peace. He taught his group to be strong but fair. One day, John led a big attack on an alien base. They worked together and surprised the enemy. John's group won the battle. This victory gave everyone more hope. Cora helped John by talking to aliens who did not want to fight. She made friends and brought new allies. The rebellion was growing stronger every day. John felt tired but kept going. He knew many people depended on him. The fight was hard and long, but he never gave up. Claire's power was breaking. The aliens who followed her were scared. John's group was changing the colony. John looked at the stars and thought about freedom. He believed a new day was coming, a day when no one would be called a slave. The final battle came. John's group faced the alien empire's forces. It was a hard fight. The aliens had many soldiers and weapons. John's group was smaller, but strong and smart. John led his people with courage. They used what they learned from past battles. They planned well and worked as one. Many humans and peaceful aliens fought side by side. The battle was long. John fought bravely. He protected his friends and pushed forward. The alien soldiers were surprised by the human strength and heart. Claire tried to escape prison during the battle. She wanted to take back power, but John's friends stopped her. She was caught and brought before John. John faced Claire one last time. She was angry and proud, but John was calm. He said, "Your time is over. No one should rule with fear." John did not hurt Claire. He wanted her to see the change. He wanted the colony to start a new life without hate. The aliens surrendered. The colony was free. Humans and aliens began to work together. They built a new world with respect and kindness. John became a hero. People remembered the man who stood tall when he was called a slave. His strength and hope changed everything. The stars shone bright over the colony. John looked up and smiled. The future was open and full of promise. Freedom was real now.